Hi everyone, this is Bauer, and in this video I call Manifesting Made Easy, I'm going to share with you the time-tested principles of manifesting what you really want, what you truly want, and from your heart, not just your mind. And I'll touch on what I mean by not just your mind as we go. So sit back and enjoy. So welcome to Manifesting Made Easy. In this video, I'm going to share with you the essential steps. These are time-tested principles that I've learned in well over 30 years of my own life, and also with people like you who want a simpler way to create what they truly want in life. So this is not about goal setting. This is not about hopes or wishes. This is real-world, actionable steps that you can take starting today, that when you apply them, you will create results that are unexpected in common hours. So the first step, and this is the game-changing step. This is the one that most people get wrong because they don't know how to do it, and that is to calm the restless mind. And how do you do that? You can't quiet your mind by just thinking it. You have to practice some form of meditation. And you'll notice how I say in silence, because if you don't silence the mind in some way, then it's going to stay busy. So here's what I mean. Like if you're trying to read a book and thinking that that's meditating, or that you're going to do some form of activity, and that might be a form of meditation, that's not true. So you want to be able to sit back quietly with your eyes closed. Now, if you prefer audio meditations, as long as they're quiet and gentle, not a person reading words to you saying, as you begin to slowly calm your mind, etc., etc. That's really not meditation, because the point of meditation is for you to hear the space between your thoughts. And it's when you become the observer. This is when everything changes. You begin to observe your own thoughts and your own emotions. And then you realize that you are not those thoughts or those emotions. That's when you have a state of noticing. That's when you become that observer consciousness. And in those moments, you get more clarity than you've had in maybe weeks or years. And it's worth the time to spend on this to get this step right, because without it, all bets are off. In other words, without you somehow clarifying and getting better at this first step of meditation, all the other steps that I'm going to teach you are really not going to work. They're going to bounce right off the surface. And of course, this is the most difficult step for most people. But the good news is, as you practice meditation in some form with your eyes closed and you become the observer, everything begins to shift in your life. It's not just your manifesting that gets better. It's that you start feeling better. You'll end up sleeping better. Your mind is not so pensive. You won't get caught up in that thought stream of the problem mindset. So let's go on to step number 2. Access your heart. Your heart is the most powerful part of you. It holds the energy of the spark of life of who you are. The heart is the access point of everything in your life, all the emotions, all the energy, all of the wishes and hopes and dreams. They're in there, but it's also a realized energy. In other words, that the moment you begin to access it, everything begins to change. Without accessing your heart, your results will fall short because you'll be up in your mind. And that goes back to step number 1. If you're up in your mind, you know it because you feel busy, you feel pensive, you feel anxious. Now, if you over-rely on your mind, it creates what I call the silenced heart. And that's a feeling of feeling disconnected. That's when you're out of sorts. That's when you're really not yourself. And of course, that's the worst place to be when you're trying to manifest what you want in life. So the best part of this step of accessing your heart is the more you do it, the more calm you feel, the more fulfilled you feel, the more connected you feel. So let's move on to step number 3, clearing any emotional blocks that you feel. Now this one can be difficult, but what makes it easier is if you start paying attention to how you feel. This is why steps number 1, number 2 are so important, because step number 1 is when you calm the mind, now you can access your heart. When you access your heart, now those trapped emotions, the stuck emotions that were stopping you in the past, now instead begin to free you. Interesting. So negative emotions often cloud the way. If you look at this image that just popped up, that ball underwater, that signifies the emotions that are stuck under the surface. And they cloud the way until you pay attention to them and release them. When you release them, you see those bubbles above that ball. They begin to release through the surface. The ball releases through the surface, and that trapped energy opens up and turns into energy that you can use to move forward. And this is an incredibly powerful step that you can use to help you move forward and create your dreams. Now, step number 4. This is one that I love, and I've been teaching this for over 20 years. You set your intent. Now, intent is not goal setting. It's not intention. It's not wishes. It's none of those things. Intent is crystal clear focus. If you see the picture of that crystal there, you'll notice how clear it is. That's how clear your intent should be. And when I've worked with people, whether that be one-on-one or through our courses, I notice that when they say they're not creating or getting the results they want, I tune in and I ask them, so what's your intent? And they give like a watered down version. Right away, there's the reason why they're not creating what they want in life. Most people settle for some facsimile, in other words, a version of what that intent might be. And it's watered down, it's diluted, and it certainly isn't focused. But when you focus your intent and you notice and you tune into the energy of it's already done, here's what I mean. Intent isn't that you're wishing it. Intent is it is already done. So the beauty of when you calm your mind and you go into your heart and you release those emotions is that purifies your intent. This is incredibly powerful, friends. And the more you practice these simple steps, the better your manifesting gets. Because as you open your heart and purify your intent, your results are going to become more clear, more focused, and measurably better. And so just to kind of underscore this, intent is not an intention or a goal or a wish. It is the clarity, the knowing that what you want is no longer a want because you are now back in the energy of it. What's the essence of what you want? That's the question that you should be asking yourself. What is this thing that I want going to give me? What is it that I think it's going to give me? Peace? Fulfillment? A feeling of like, wow, maybe excitement, inspiration, whatever it is. That's what you really want. It's not the material issue. It's not the thing itself that you want. Although our minds want to pretend that it's the material thing that we think we need in order to feel better. Go right to the intent. Go right to it's done. How do I feel knowing it's already done? That produces this crystal clear intent. If you look at this picture of that prism with the light coming in from the left and the energy diffracting and turning into that rainbow kaleidoscope on the right, that's what happens when you've got that kind of clarity, is you focus that beam and what comes out is this energy that people can pick up on. That's how things manifest in this world. That crystal in the center you can think of as God or the universe or creator source energy. You send clear intent in, it knows how to do all the energy, all the manifesting steps, connecting you with the people and the resources and the possibilities and the opportunities that you really are looking for the most. So the 5th step is to take inspired action. Maybe you've heard this before. In this case, when you follow these steps that I've been sharing with you, your intuition now guides you to take the right steps. And each step reveals valuable feedback. Here's what I mean by when I say valuable feedback. Let's say it doesn't manifest at first, the thing you want. As you listen to the feedback, let's say day 1, day 2, day 3, it's not happening. Well, is that really true? Or it's not happening the way you want, the timing that you want, or in the fashion that you want. So you tune in, you listen. You do this process that I'm teaching you. You meditate, you tune into the emotions, you access your heart. If you practice these steps on a daily basis, I guarantee you're going to get positive results. Let's tune into something that I learned many years ago by a wonderful quantum physicist named William Tiller. He said these words, manifesting is a sacred process because it's always teaching us how to manifest better. What does that really mean? Let's say that you use these principles and you don't create what you want. Does that mean the principles don't work? The answer is no, because the question becomes, the timing or the fashion or the way that they show up. So then you step back and you go, interesting. Oh, I got it. Yeah, I had kind of a weird emotion right about the time when I was about to manifest that thing, right as I was doing this process. So you tune back in, you calm your mind, you tune into the emotions, you open up your heart. And these may seem like challenging steps. They're not, I promise you. You could do this whole process in less than 5 minutes. Is that worth it for you to master this process? You betcha. It's taken me years to get to this point, so to speak. I mean, I was good at it probably 20 years ago. And then I started teaching it in our courses, like the Secrets of Manifesting course. And people started getting so good at it, I thought, wow, these are principles. They're not just concepts. So the key to this whole thing that William Tiller is talking about, that it's a sacred process, is letting go, which then takes us right back to step number 1. In other words, calming the restless mind. So let's review what we've gone through in this video. The first step is to calm the restless mind. When you do that successfully, you'll know it because you feel better. Once you do that, you access your heart, the heart's energy. You tap into this incredible power of your heart waves and the heart mind. You clear emotional blocks. Anything that feels like stuck energy, anxiety, worrying, the kind of stuff that keeps you up at night, process those feelings when you meditate and you access your heart. They open up and they release. And then you set your intent. It's one of my favorite steps because the more pure your intent is, the better you feel because you realize that what you want is already created. Let's repeat that. What you want is already created. It already exists. So your mind and your heart, when they become aligned, they allow you to realize that, yeah, it does already exist. Oh my gosh. And you call it forth, not from your mind, but from your heart mind. And then you take inspired action. And when you do that, you access that heart mind state, which is the point of this whole process. That's when you feel connected and peaceful. In this place of being, that's what the heart mind essence is about. You feel so aligned and so focused that you receive the real gift, and that is the joy of connectedness and being at one within yourself. And then you give the universe its chance to create your intent on the outside. But in the meantime, you realize the best gift of all, and that is that you feel that sense of connectedness and alignment and being at peace. I hope this helped you. And let's talk about it as we move forward. Much aloha.